Okay, Mark Allen here from Middlesbrough Golf Club. Quick tip on how to hit the ball low. Perfect for under the trees if we get ourselves into a bit of trouble, but also in the wind. So I think it's great to have this shot in your arsenal, but there's a few things that we just need to be aware of when we're trying to play this low shot. First thing I want to do is I just want to hit a standard 7-iron. So we've got a benchmark, we can see how high it flies, and then we can see if we can lower that ball flight. Okay, that was a standard 7-iron for me. As you can see on the right hand side here, the peak height of that shot was 85 feet, launched at about 16 degrees and carried 180. Okay, so that's a standard 7-iron, that's the launch. So there's a few things that we can do to try to hit the ball a bit lower. First thing I would try to do is take one extra club. By taking one extra club and swing easier, you do two things. One, you launch the ball a bit lower because that one extra club has generally got about 3 degrees of loft less, so it's going to launch it lower. It's never going to get quite as high because mainly when you're hitting a longer club and not hitting it as hard, you're not putting as much backspin on. Okay, one thing we can consider when trying to play a low shot is putting the ball a bit further back in your stance. Now, putting the ball further back in your stance is going to achieve one thing, and that's going to achieve the club coming down on a steeper angle of attack. It's going to hit the ball earlier in the arc and hit the ball more on the downswing, and you're going to launch the ball a bit lower. Just a quick word of caution on when you put the ball further back in your stance. When we swing the golf club, we don't swing it on a straight line back and forwards to the target. We actually swing it on a bit of an arc. So actually, the further back in your stance you put in the ball, the earlier in your arc you're hitting the ball. That's going to leave the club face slightly open. So two ways to combat this is, one is we could, when we put the ball further back in our stance, just open our stance ever so slightly. Two is we could really exaggerate therefore our body turn and feel like we're really going to rotate through the ball a lot faster. And the other is we could just ever so slightly close the face. This will deal off the club a little bit more and also help with this low shot. Okay, so this is now the shot with a ball further back in my stance and one more club, two more clubs in fact, and you can see on the right hand side there just how much lower the launch angle was, 9.5 degrees. The height was just about 46 feet, but yet the distance stayed about the same, about 170 yards and previously 180 yards, so a little bit less, but it's manageable. Okay, so hopefully, as you can see, it's not as complicated as most people first think. The simpler we can keep it, the better. So I think taking one extra club, 2 extra clubs at most, put the ball a fraction further back in your stance. The fact that the ball is further back in your stance means that the arc of your swing is going more to the right, so you just need to aim that little bit more to the left. I think if you can follow these few simple steps, you'll be able to flight the ball lower into the wind and hopefully lower your scores.